Hi, I'm Mirshad Buckman from Paranoid Earthling, and this is my rig rundown. When I was like 12, 13, at that point I was heavy into hip hop actually. Like Tupac, Snoop Doggy Dogg, that whole trip. And I had a neighbor near our house who, and back in the day it was all tape, right? We record from CD to tape. And he had this album called Kill 'Em All by Metallica. And I bugged the guy so hard to record it. I want to record it, and he would say you wouldn't listen to this kind of stuff, it's really different. And yeah, so I recorded the thing. That's the time I totally got into heavy metal music. I was like basically jumping in the bed, with holding the broomstick and imagining performing and stuff. And in school I met our first drummer in Paranoid Earthling. His name is Shankar. Great drummer. So when we met, I was into Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Pantera, stuff like that, and he was into Chemical Brothers, Prodigy, and he was totally into electronica. And both of us we had this plan. So let's make music. Let's start a band, and we had this whole thing. And Shankar's brother Danushka, at the time, he and our current bassist Asela, they were 2 years senior to us in school. So both of them were planning to do this electronic project. And Shankar and me, we were totally into starting this band, this whole rock band. And then suddenly 4 of us got together, we thought, hey, shall we just start a band together, the whole band. So we had different names. At one point we wanted to call the band Freak. And yeah, that was the early name we tried to. Then our bassist, Asela, he's the guy who actually put the name Paranoid Earthling. This was basically he and Shankar's brother, Danushka. They were planning to do an electronic project like Chemical Brothers, something like that. They wanted to call it Paranoid Earthling. That was just a plan. And then yeah, that was the name. Yeah. It was inspired by Paranoid Android by Radiohead, and David Bowie had an album called Earthling. So I think he put both names together and it became Paranoid Earthling. When we started, we had one box guitar, and I had my first electric and a crate amplifier. It's there at the back there. And we had a homemade drum kit, made out of boxes. It was a square drum kit. So we used to get leather and stretch it and put extra sheets, and we had the toms and the snare, and it was what do you call it, silver plates. Those were the cymbals. And then yeah, we started and we kept playing, and we had our first performance in 2001 in November at a talent show. We didn't compete in the talent show, we were guest artists. That was the first time I ever got on stage actually. I had never been on stage before until that day. And we played 3 songs. There was an Offspring song we did a cover, and another 2 songs, some Nirvana stuff. So when our band started, we were our entire set list was pretty much Nirvana, because Nirvana was the band we loved, It was a lot of their songs we used to play, and then we had one original called Pull Me Under, inspired a lot by Nirvana. So throughout the years, we kept playing, and more originals started being were created. And our first concert in Colombo was at Onstage, and we got kicked off the preliminary rounds. So it was crazy, at that point we didn't know about we tuned our guitars and we kept it there in the AC, and I thought actually my guitar would be kept in tune, and we went home, changed, came back, and by the time we had to play in front of the judges, all the guitars were off tune, but we played anyway. So that's why we got kicked off the preliminary rounds. Then we kept playing shows, and I met Suresh from Stigmata, and we we all got really close. And Stiggs and us, we started doing shows together, you know, like organizing our own concerts and going on, you know, trying to build a scene. This is my first guitar, okay, my first electric. This was a gift given by one of my cousins, and a lot of our songs were actually written on this guitar. So at one point I had like, that's why you have this big wound here on the guitar. So at one point I took both the single coils and had them like pasted together here, because I was trying to get a humbucking sound, and then I pasted it back the way it was. So yeah, it's a Yamaha EG303. I don't think this is in production anymore. It's like a beginner's guitar, which I still use it, you know, but the strings are a little bit screwed on it. But yeah, this was my first guitar. I have extra strings here, so extra springs actually. And yeah, this is what I used like for about 10 years with Paranoid Earthling. My first guitar, yeah. This is the guitar I use a lot. Yeah, this is like my main guitar I use with Paranoid Earthling. It's a Squier Stratocaster. This also was a gift from another cousin of mine, who left it here when he left the country and pretty much told me like, you know, this is pretty much yours. So this is my main guitar I use on stage. It broke at one point because I dashed it after a concert once, and like the whole thing came out and I pasted it back. So it goes off tune sometimes, but yeah, so this is pretty much my main guitar. So this guitar, this is the only guitar I actually bought with my own money. It's a Gibson Les Paul Studio, and I use it a lot for recording, a lot on recordings, and like about 1 or 2 years I kept using this as my main guitar for Paranoid Earthling. But this guitar is a different feel, like, you know, it has a fatter board, so yeah, I don't know, I feel different when I play this one. Yeah, I can't really squeeze and go mad with the solos like I do with the Stratocaster. But yeah, this is my other guitar. I'm a pedal freak, so my favorite thing is like running a guitar through a whole chain of pedals and like twisting the sound and seeing what happens, you know, experimenting. I love analog stuff, so when I started off I had a Zoom pedal which I used for 10 years. I tried to find it today, I couldn't find it, show you guys today. So then I got into like collecting analog guitar pedals, and yeah, I have a whole collection of that stuff. I'm collecting as well. I'm still collecting. I'm trying to expand it some more. So let's get to it. Let's have a look at the pedals. So one of the first pedals in my chain is the Little Big Muff by Electro-Harmonix, which is it's a fuzz pedal. So I love fuzz. Okay, so it sounds like this. It's not a pedal meant for like heavy metal. It has a more elastic kind of sound. And what I do mainly is I stack distortion together. So I normally use like very less gain. If you see, the sustain is like really low on each pedal, and I would combine them together. Like, say example, when you use the metal muff, that's also another Electro-Harmonix pedal. So you have this sound and then the other fuzz pedal I have is the Blue Box by MXR. So this is an octave fuzz, and like it gives something like this, you know, when I have. Yeah, it has that crazy broken radio sound. So for delays, I have two delay boxes, the Bayhuge Superpos and the Carbon Copy by MXR. I mainly use the Carbon Copy. I just put like a very short delay time, like to add more depth when I play like lead solos and stuff. So it will sound something like this, basically. You can do some crazy stuff with the carbon copies, say, as in like this. Pretty much giving that effect. I use the superpus for the more aggressive delay sounds, say maybe like. But the superpus, you can do some mad stuff with it. It's the magic of analog delay, man. I like it. So the other one is it's a ring modulator pedal. It's the Ringworm by Way Huge, and yeah, it's one of my favorite. You can do some mad stuff with it, man. Like. This pedal over here, like how many years? I've been wanting it. I wanted it for so long. It was actually a gift from my girlfriend. She only got me this Pog 2. Actually, all the Electro-Harmonix pedals were gifts by my girlfriend. You know, so I don't know. For some reason, she got me the Electro-Harmonix, and the Dunlop stuff I bought myself. So. Another favorite on my rig is the Distortion Plus by MXR. I mainly use this like to kill the sound on a song, but it has that very So the Phase 90 is a phaser, so I mainly use it like to in certain, like say when you get to a bridge part of a song, if I want it to work like say normally go like so generally people use the Phase 90 earlier in the chain, but I use it like after all the distortion, so it's more intense, but the volume boosts the volume like really high, but it's amazing. So when you combine that with the superpus, you can get like so another one, I don't use this a lot live, but like I have this the Crybaby. So I don't use a lot of wah, like I mainly use I use it just keep like get stones like this. But you can do some crazy stuff with the wah and the ringworm. Now normally when you have like wah, it will go like, it's like wow wow wow, but when you put it with this, you can make it like it's like ay 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 ay. So normally you will have like wow 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 wow, but when you go like this, that ay ay. Say we get to a certain part of one of our songs, it's like a set of pedals that are on. When I go to the next part of the song, those go off and another set go on. So like I pretty much a tap dance on stage. So another really important pedal in my rig is the Angritro, which is it's basically a vintage preamplifier circuit. It like pumps up the amp a little bit more, like adds more gain. I use it mainly for color because generally I would have like the metal muff goes like that. When I add this in, it goes like it just makes the tone really fat. It's a cool pedal, man. Really love that guy. I love all my pedals. And the other one is the MXR Smart Gate. It's a really cool noise gate. It really cuts the unwanted hums and stuff. And it stays there, And the micro amp. I use that mainly like as the main volume control for my entire board. So this is the final pedal in my chain. So when I go to solos, I would use this mainly. And I could really control it. Sometimes, like, if the solo is not that loud when on stage, I can put my feet and like bring it high. Mainly that's the volume boost, the final amplifier in my pedal chain. So now, since we're done with the pedals, I'd like to talk a bit about the amplifier I use. So as you see, it's a Marshall JCM 2000. This is basically my main amplifier. It sounds nice when you cook it really loud, like then it's too loud, but it... The other amp I have is the Lenny, it's the VC30. So sometimes I like route them both together and I send one signal into that and another signal into this. So they sound good together as well. But most of the time I use this live. And our other guitarist uses this amp as well. So I hope you guys learned, got some good info on my rig rundown, and basically there are no rules, man. You just, if you keep getting more and more pedals, just route them in different ways, do whatever you want. It's your basically your own canvas. And experiment, keep experimenting, make new music, and have fun. And see you guys at our next gig. That's it.